Hello, Future Nice, and welcome to part 2 of the 10K video. This part is the tour and Q&A section that I took out of part 1. I'll timestamp all the stops and questions down below, so you can just skip to whatever interests you.
First question comes from Ertu. I'm just going to guess on how to pronounce all these. Don't know if it fits the 10K milestone, but I would love to see a tour of your survival world. Maybe you've already done it. I don't know. I didn't check. Anyways, congrats on reaching 10K.
Yeah, thank you. So we're kind of going to do that here, like I mentioned. Kind of going to go around to the major sites of our server. It's a little old now, but there is another video that is, I think, Nether Tunnels and Tour, and I kind of went around to some things there, but we'll say a little stuff. And also, this is the first time that I've used any shaders. I installed Optifine, and this is really the first time I've seen our world with shaders. Normally, I don't play with any shaders on or anything.
Be fun to get to kind of see it in a new light.
Yeah, I'm excited. Okay.
Where to next?
Do you want to go grab a latte before we go?
Sure.
All right.
Off to Block Stars.
I like star blocks.
I was originally going to call it Buck Stars, so it makes sense to keep it swapped. Would you? Bing bong.
I'm going to set the table up.
There's no one behind the counter.
That's all right. I'll serve you. What do you want?
Oh, I just stole a big cake pop.
Oh, do you want anything to
Can I
drink?
have a latte too? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll, I don't know
pumpkin spice latte. Oh, perfect. Yeah, put that pumpkin pie in there.
Perfect. There you go.
Thank you. This is from Blouse Serperoyale. Yeah, that's right. What's your favorite biome, and what biomes would you like to see in Minecraft?
That's a good question. Let me think for a bit.
I mean, we live in a snow biome.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. No, what's the name for the new old growth spruce forest, like the tall trees one? They changed the name.
That's what it's called. I think it's old growth is the new name.
The old growth spruce taiga is the new name for it. I like that biome.
Do you like that biome in real life as well?
Yes, it reminds me of like Washington State, and I really like the Olympic National Forest and areas up there. It's a really beautiful area. Some honorable mentions are, I really like the new mangrove swamp. I think it's very interesting. And there was something else. I keep having to look up the new names for these things, but the windswept savanna, which used to be the shattered savanna in Minecraft, is, I've never built anything there, but it's something that I really want to build something there. I think you have these really sharp changes in topography. Sometimes you can find villages there, and that's like really crazy looking stuff. And then the other one is the eroded badlands. It reminds me of Bryce Canyon in the U.S. I think it was actually called that at one point before they changed names and everything. But I think it's pretty. I think it's a pretty cool biome. It's pretty sparse, but it still has a lot of color and interest to it.
And then what biome would you like to see in Minecraft?
I think I would like to see a deep ocean biome, but one that is actually dark. Like, you would need some sort of some sort of light to actually see around. Like, it's actually like a dark, like a cave or something like that. I don't think that exists right now. If you go deep underwater, I'm trying to remember. If you go deep underwater currently, like the lighting doesn't change like at all, right?
It gets a bit darker, but not. It also depends on what type of lighting, because you almost always play on bright, and I for a long time played on moody, and it gets pretty dark.
Yeah. Other than like reworking other biomes, I think that the biomes that exist, there could definitely be some things done to make them better. But I think that's my answer.
I'm gonna walk there.
Yeah, me too. This is pretty cool.
Yeah. Stuff look pretty cool with shaders.
Yeah, I can dig it. Oh yeah, you can't see it. You don't have that installed. Yeah, it's the blue light is super cool.
Mm.
I can't play like this though, like every day. Um, I don't know why.
Ready for the next question?
1 second. I'll just say that this is a very green inspired greenhouse. Yeah, that's what it's called. A very green inspired greenhouse that my wife wanted to make when she was watching Hermitcraft a couple seasons ago when Green had his barge thing he was doing.
Next question is cool cape. How'd you get it? That's from First to Last.
Oh yeah, the cape. The cape is if you had the Java edition or you had a Mojang account before, you had to have Microsoft accounts when you. I think you can still get it. I'm not sure. Maybe that's passed.
Only if you had it before, and then if you convert it.
Yeah. So you got a cape if you had a Mojang account and transitioned to a Microsoft account, which you can't do anymore. And there's another cape too that I don't have because I didn't own Bedrock. But if you owned Bedrock and Java at the same time, then now you just get them. If you buy one, you get the other. And so they gave everybody that bought them separately before, everybody gets a different cape, which I don't have because I didn't own Bedrock. I do think it looks cool. I like the look of it enchanted. It's got a cool like blue and purple tone to it. And it looks pretty cool.
This comes from Ben Goodwin. About the geology stuff. If vanilla stone is some kind of limestone mixed with something else to make it gray and tougher, what would that be called? And if that material is compressed and or heated enough to make deep slate, what would that make?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm going to be making a geology video relatively soon, I hope, that looks at stone through the lens of an actual like geologist. So looking at all of the properties, how hard it is, how it forms, what we know about it, like it dissolves, things like that, and try to figure out what real life rock it would be. And so I'm going to talk about deep slate a little bit and some other things like that. So for the library part, I want to say that like the interior has been put on hold because we were designing the interior and then the chiseled bookshelves came out, and that's going to be key to finishing the interior. So we're waiting on 1.20 to get the interior done, but the exterior is done, and I'm quite happy with that. All right, next question.
Do you think it would be useful to update the spectrum world with the addition of blocks, vines, lichens, skulk veins, seeing as they would create a new average color? They might fill in some of the gaps.
Yeah, that's a good question, and one that I've thought about. The issue is that if you add, I think you're talking about like if you put like lichen over a block, then you change that tone towards the lichen color. And so basically you could put that over any full block and then it moves, it shifts its color towards the average color of lichen. And I think it would be very interesting to at least look at, but I'm not sure how practical it would be to have in the spectrum world like consistently, because I think it might become too cluttered and you need some space between things to kind of see the relationship better. So it might be something that I can do for a video, or maybe I can do, maybe it can be in the world. It's just something you can toggle so you can see what it looks like. But, and also there's plenty of other things you can do to cause those shifts, like not just a lichen, but all of the trapdoors that have holes in them. If you add a button to things, anything that's less than a full block that you can stick on another block will technically shift its color towards that, and you can add more texture or use it for blending things together. But it's a really good idea, and it's a real good technique to use in building, but I don't know how practical I can make it or how useful I can make it in the spectrum world so it's actually useful. Just for tour purposes, this central area here is in the works to be redone, and the middle part will probably be expanded. We had all of our villager traders over here, and the old library had clerics and things like that, but they all got turned into zombies by an unfortunate turn of events. But it's going to be redone at some point.
This one was left by Shark Superiority, and they left a very long comment on the minecart video, but then it added a question at the end of it, asking, if Minecraft were to add full-fledged geology update, what would you want to see?
So I haven't checked out Terra Firmacraft in detail, but the things they are doing there looks like really cool. Like you actually have rocks associated with more with biome and biome type than just randomly, depth and things like that. So I honestly, I think like something that they were doing is how I'd like things to be done. It's very hard in a procedurally generated world to have accurate, geology and things taken into account. But I think something that probably everybody wants is an actual like volcano biome, and actually and they have the new biomes kind of have these. They have like these mountains with like these central low areas. It's like almost like a crater, and they could yeah, and so that could be adjusted a bit to be a volcano, and you'd have more basalt on the surface or something like that.
Would you get rid of the dirt pockets that randomly appear in the ground?
Oh god, yes. I would get rid of the dirt. I would get rid of tuff. Tuff needs to be something else underground. Personally, if I just had to think off the top of my head, it should be some pocket of metamorphic rock. Maybe it's another grade of metamorphic rock. So you have mudstone turns into slate eventually. Past that, then you get a rock called schist, and then eventually you get to a rock called gneiss. And that would be kind of appropriate to have those little pockets, maybe that they had more pressure and temperature associated with them. And then if they had the volcanic biomes, that's where tuff should be. Tuff should be near the surface or layered around the edges of a volcano. And then dirt, I would just get rid of and replace that with some other new type of igneous rock, even though that really doesn't make sense either, but it fits in with the other rocks that we already have. Maybe I would make it into something else, but that's my idea, right? Without thinking about it for a long time.
Oh yeah, the swamp house. So I built all these themed after the colorful carpets of each of the different 16 colors of llama. And so this is technically the green one, the swamp kind of themed one.
Yeah, so each footprint of the house was the same size, and then you picked block palettes that were themed after each color, and a lot of work.
Yep.
This was a major undertaking to do, so I really had nothing to do with it. I didn't help build it, design it, or anything. This is all my daughter's work. Very good. Mm-hmm. It added some needed color to the area.
I'm proud of it. I wish that the villagers would live in the houses.
Yeah, villagers are their own special sort of thing. But each house has its own llama with it in its own little backyard.
Only a couple have escaped.
Yeah. So we just call it Llama Town.
Next one is from Lowell Rindler. I have a question. Are you a geologist in real life? And tangentially, have you ever gone caving?
So yes, I am a real geologist. I work at a university. I have a master's in geology. And for caves, yes, I haven't gone caving as like professionally as a geologist or part of my job or anything. But yes, I've gone into several caves. I grew up in southern Illinois, and there were several caves near my house down the road, non-commercial caves, the caves that were just holes in the ground that you could go into. And I, would go down there, and there's also some larger caverns around the area. There's Illinois State Cave, which I went into when I was a young lad. And there's, like, on the more commercial side, there's Merrimack Caverns over on the Missouri side, in the southern part of Missouri. and that's like a big tourist draw around the area, large speleothems and everything. And then I've been around to I've been to Mammoth Caves, and I've been to Ruby Falls, and down in Tennessee, Georgia. I forget. It's right on the border there. I forget what state it's in.
Tennessee.
Mammoth Caves in Kentucky, and then I've been in Carlsbad Caverns, and mostly touristy areas. And I guess I have been in the lava tubes. I don't know if you call it cave like outside of Flagstaff, Arizona. I think that's all of them. Oh God.
Inside the bee house, right?
Yeah, all the bees just got out. So the beehive is a bit overpopulated. There was a glitch when upgrading from 1.17 to 1.18 or 18 to 19. I forget which update, but when you updated your world, all entities could duplicate, and so we ended up with like a whole bunch of villagers, and we have like doubled the amount of bees in here. So a lot of the bees don't have room in their hives anymore or anything. But I like it. I like all the besides the lag it generates. I like having them all fly around.
This comes from Joe Taz. What's your favorite natural gem/rock, and what's your favorite cut gem/rock?
Well, for natural gem/rock, I don't know if you're asking one or the other, but I'll give you both. Mm-hmm. Natural uncut gem is a garnet. I think it's really beautiful. Any crystal that has like a nice shape to it, when it's grown naturally, is really pretty. But garnets are like spherical. They look like dice, basically. Fascinating that grows naturally like that. And then my favorite rock type is banded iron formation. It's
Biff.
Yeah, Biff is like just what it's called normally, but banded iron formations are where we primarily get our iron from as a society, and they only formed during a specific time in Earth's history. And they oftentimes they are very beautiful to look at. I'll put up some pictures of a few that I have. I'll talk more about banded iron formations in a geology episode when I talk about iron ore and stuff like that, but that's my favorite. And for cut rock, I don't really have a specific favorite for cut gems, but I do have a favorite cut and polished rock, and that is labradorite. It's a type of feldspar, which there's lots of types of feldspar. It's an aluminum silicate mineral, and most of them are very boring, very plain looking minerals, not clear, generally opaque, kind of on the tan side. But labradorite has this like amazing play of color, and you get these wonderful tones through it. I'll have to actually look if I have any cut samples, but I do have some uncut samples, and they are also equally beautiful.
This question is actually 3 questions, kind of, from Don't Question, Just Believe. I've got a few questions for your 10K special. What's your IRL job? Where are you from? And do you have any hobbies outside of Minecraft and geology? So we'll start with what's your IRL job?
Oh boy. Yeah, just some simple questions. So my real life job is working as a geologist at a university. I don't teach. I'm not faculty. I'm staff. So I have my primary duties are teaching students, graduate students that are PhD students, master's students that are working on projects, how to operate our analytical equipment. So things like mass specs, scanning electron microscope, several X-ray pieces of equipment, things like that. And then all the peripherals and how to get your sample into a state that you can do the measurements that you need.
You also do like maintenance.
Yeah, I do the maintenance as well as operating the equipment and teaching people how to operate it. When it breaks, I'm the guy that fixes it also. So I have a technical background, which I think is a question that I'll probably get into that later.
Where are you from?
I grew up in southern Illinois near St. Louis, and now I live near Chicago.
And then, do you have any hobbies outside of Minecraft and geology?
Boy, do I. Yeah, so I have a lot of hobbies. No, I take that back. I only have a few hobbies. One just might seem like a lot, though. I do like to play video games. That's a good hobby. I like to go outside. I like to hike and just experience nature, not just the rock part of it, but the biologic part as well. And then the complicated hobby is kind of like how I am in Minecraft, I am in real life, that I like to tinker and build things. And so I've collected a lot of skills to be able to do those sort of things. So I know some metalwork, I know woodworking, I know how to draw and paint, and just general things that will help you make something. So I can put some pictures up of some things that I've like drawn and created in the past. And since we just moved into this house, it's not so much the case right now, but usually there is something that I've built or done in almost every room in the house.
This question comes from Griffin McElroy Stan 69. A perfect username. Where did you study geology? Combined with that, EcoGreen123 said, Happy 10K! I must say I'm a bit curious about your education, partially if you have higher education, PhD even?
So I served in the Navy for 6 years, and I was a nuclear electronics technician. When I got out, I completed a bachelor's in nuclear engineering, and then didn't really want to stay in that career field. And I went back to school and got a second bachelor's degree in geology, and then I went on to continue and finished a master's, and at a couple different schools for all of those degrees in different parts of the country. The geology degree was at a Illinois state school.
Next question comes from Uni, who asks, what's your favorite field in geology? For example, geomorphology, petrology, hydrology, or structure. I am curious as to yours since you've covered so many topics of geology in your past videos.
Well, professionally, I'm more of a generalist. I have to deal with a lot of different fields of geology, and that's kind of why I have a diverse understanding of things. But I think my favorite part is the material composition part of it. So a lot of the work that I do in the university deals with composition, trying to figure out what composition minerals and rocks are, what minerals are making up rocks and things like that. So I do a lot of like micro analytical composition on like a scanning electron microscope, or using x-rays with like x-ray diffraction or x-ray fluorescence to understand that. So I like this isn't really applicable to geology. This is kind of applicable to Minecraft and just what I do as hobbies as well, is that I like to apply techniques in new ways to solve questions and try different things out. I do contribute to research and have my own research, and in those areas I'm normally working with paleontologists, and I'm providing geologic context to the areas where fossils are from. So they are usually biology derived paleontologists, and I'm working with them to maybe constrain the timing of where the fossils are coming from, or the depositional environment, like why are these fossils here, or something like that. So I like that too.
A surprising number of like anthropologists and paleontologists don't really have like a good understanding of geology. I mean, it's so complicated. So
Yeah, and a lot of geologists don't have a good understanding of like paleontology, anthropology, stuff like that.
Sure.
So there really is a good marriage between those two fields. They're both applied science fields, and I'll probably end up actually doing a geology episode on that. Doesn't really pertain to Minecraft, but since we are having the kind of the archaeology update, there's a lot of confusion with people between like archaeologist, geologist, anthropologist, geography, paleontology, and just other classes in geology and what a geologist does with all that stuff. So it might be just fun to kind of lay that out some way in Minecraft. But.
Yeah, do you want to give, before we answer a question, give a little bit of context about the War Village?
Yeah. In some point in our main survival village, it just got overrun by golems. We had too many villagers. They were just continually spawning golems all the time. It was before we had a mob switch also. So golems would just kind of spawn, wander around. And we ended up with like 30 or 40 golems like in town. And we kind of just kill them. We had pits that we'd put them into and just burn them with lava. And it just got kind of out of hand. And we found this village over here. And so we decided to dig a hole. So there is a tunnel that goes all the way from our village underneath the ocean here, all the way over, and comes up. And then this was when raids were added to the game that we would come over here and do raids. So we built a wall, and then we would push some golems out into the space where the raid would actually spawn. And basically the golems would just fight the raid for us. And so we'd fly over, get the bad omen effect, and then fly over, trigger the raid. And then, we would just get 1 or 2 hits in on the enemies to get looting. And then the golems would just take care of everything else for us. But it's still overrun. I don't know what to do with it, but they just kind of, all the golems just kind of live here now.
They're outside of render distance, and this village is really like tactically perfect for raids because there was a pillager tower not too far from here, and then it's like a peninsula, so they can only attack from one side.
Yeah, true.
This one comes from Roland Ropnik. Great work. It's a fascinating idea to have a walkable, real-world geology park in Minecraft. But I wish your spoken explanations from this video could even be played per button click in world. You have a great voice for educational videos. The immersion would be perfect. The only thing missing would be a class of unimpressed, uninterested, bored middle school pupils doing what bored pupils do and getting on everyone's nerves. Winky face.
So the whole reason why that world exists is due to COVID. My university, and specifically my department, we would, my university would do some STEM outreach program. And I made a Minecraft interactive like little thing where I printed out Minecraft blocks, the textures printed on it, and then I had real life rocks, and I would have kids do like a matching game trying to match up the Minecraft blocks to real life blocks. And we were trying to move everything online, and I was like, well, what can we do with Minecraft? And so I had the idea of making like a timeline. 1 block equals 1 million years timeline. And I just kind of started there, and I went with it. And the initial idea for that whole project was I was going to have a custom music disc, and you would go to a particular stop along the way. Wherever there was a lectern, you could put the music disc in a jukebox, and then it would play like a recording of me explaining basically what I do in the videos. That just never came to be. Just I ran out of time and things like that. And until recently, people weren't really that interested or weren't seeing it, so there really wasn't a whole lot of reason for me to do it. But it's still something I would like to do eventually. And that's also, people would ask for me to have more pictures of real life things in the videos. And one of the reasons why I was kind of reluctant to doing that is because I want the lesson, if you want to call it that, to be complete without having some third party examples. So I would like somebody to be able to download the world, go there, and get a mostly complete packet of information, basically. But I can still work with that, and I think that obviously a Minecraft world is no substitute for getting your hands on real rocks and materials and seeing them, everything. But that's just kind of my thought process for that world and everything. So when my wife, Igneous, started kind of getting into Minecraft, she would watch us play, and she kind of just installed it herself and started, getting into it. She wasn't really that experienced. And so I didn't think it was fair for her to just jump into our world that has been existing for years and have access to like all of our resources and farms and all that stuff, just kind of in a fun way. And we came up with the idea of her being an exile. And so we basically shunned her to this far off area of the world. And we kicked this witch out of her house down here. And my wife lived in the witch house. She had a set of goals that she had to achieve, and basically that was to go defeat the end dragon. She could do that with us, but she needs to do all of the steps to get there and everything. So this is her little house in the swamp that she made. So, and she has all of her crops and flowers and everything. And then there's the next place we're going to go to is Pumpkin Village, which is an area that she kind of adopted close to here. But first off, a question.
Yes. So this next question is from Ganondorf. I think a cool video would be if you went into a field and looked for a rock that most closely resembles a Minecraft one. I guess it's not really a question, but felt it worthy of discussion.
That kind of fits with the previous question, and what I actually had done prior to the geology world was doing things in real life for science STEM outreach stuff. And so the rocks that I have for this Minecraft demonstration thing, I thought it would be really cool if you cut the rock into a cube also. And so you would just have a real rock, but like Minecraft cube, small one, of course. But that might be confusing to some kids because they're not sure, maybe they wouldn't understand that I cut it or whatever. But yeah, it's a cool idea. It might be something, if I have a better camera and microphone to do something actually recording in real life, that would be interesting to do.
Dress you up like your Minecraft character, get that face paint.
Yeah, sounds good. I can just wear a box over my head.
Works as well. Let's
right.
head over to the Pumpkin Village.
All right, sounds good.
This is from Joe VDB. For the Q&A, you should show us and briefly explain A, your favorite geological formation / outcrop, and B, a couple of your favorite rock hand samples if you have a collection.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You can have a type of geologic formation, or you can have the specific formation, like Hell Creek, where I work in Montana. I don't think I have a strong opinion on my favorite formation, but I do have one that is kind of I'm fond of, and that is the oldest rocks in the Grand Canyon. They are called the Vishnu Schist, and I've hiked down and got to see them, but a very old rock that's been metamorphosed and changed. They're very pretty. They have a lot of pretty minerals and things. I think I have a hand sample. If I can find one, I will take a picture and put it on screen. And as for my favorite personal samples, you've already seen some of them, the banded iron formation and the garnet and the labradorite. I've yet to unpack some things from when we moved, and there are some things in there that are favorites of mine, but I'll have to save that for another video, I guess.
This one is from Oliver Carter, who asks, could you do a face reveal?
I could, yes.
All right, ready to head to the next area?
Yeah, I have no. I'll give a real answer. I really don't have any problem doing a face reveal. I just don't think it adds anything to my content. I do have some privacy that I'd prefer to keep. When I play Minecraft, I'm not really role playing as some other character, as the character Nice, but I prefer not to break that illusion. I don't really care to see other Minecraft players' faces when they're playing. It doesn't bother me when I'm watching a streamer do things. And if it was something other than Minecraft, I don't know. When I'm playing Minecraft, I am nice. Yeah, it just doesn't add anything. I look like a standard middle-aged white guy with a beard.
This is from RT. A color wheel, sphere, might be a better way of visualizing differences of color between the blocks, though a cube certainly is fitting.
Yeah, right? Strangely enough, my mom sent me a color sphere for Christmas. This was after, I don't remember how long ago I did the RGB cube, but initially, or the layout of that. But the cube that she sent me, or the sphere that she sent me, was like a paper thing you could put together. And it is in HSL, I think, format. So it's got hue, saturation, and luminosity on it. And I was playing around with that with Christmas. And before the other video became popular, and I was like, you know what? I could probably do this in Minecraft also. This would be a cool way to do it. And I still haven't done it yet. But I actually figured out all the code and math, and hopefully that'll actually probably be the next video I put up after this one.
A color sphere.
Color sphere. It's actually more of a color cylinder, which is HSL, but the paper thing my mom got me was a color sphere. So this was our ghast farm. It no longer works since they changed how gas spawn, or how lighting works and spawn works in the Nether. But it was a cool build to make, and it was really overpowered for its time. I don't really like the portal-based farms, but I needed gunpowder really quick to make a hole in the Nether roof, and this is how I decided to do it. So, but yeah, that's the next question.
Yeah. This is a relatively short question. It comes from Miles Divine. It just says, Mustache?
Yes. This farm here is a combo farm. I needed a way of getting nitwits, and the only way to get nitwits for biomes that you don't have villagers or villages naturally generate in is with converting zombie nitwits into regular nitwits. And so I needed a zombie villager farm, and this is that. It separates out zombie villagers from everything else. There's a whole video about it, and I'm pretty proud of it.
Alright, so this is kind of a group of questions which all fall under the same kind of umbrella. First one's from Shizumeru. Being a dad, playing Minecraft, and having your wife and daughter actively participate is such a life goal. Little Pixel says POV of nice name. His whole family plays Minecraft and makes ideas. And then Joao Felipe B. Lopez. This guy out here consulting his family to fix Minecraft. It's just so wholesome. And finally Josh. Does your family all play Minecraft on the server? If so, that's really wholesome.
Yeah, so we all play. Sometimes I refer to it as my world, and I think my daughter has it as Dad's world on as her multiplayer world. When she connects, I started the world, and right then my daughter hopped in, and we've been playing in the world ever since. I'm probably the most active person on it. A lot of times I'm just tinkering around with stuff and having ideas and things, but it's great to have time to hop on and play around and do something together as a family. It's a bit hard now since we have a littler sister, toddler, so really somebody's always got to be watching the baby, and sleep schedules and school and work. It's kind of hectic to have time to play together, but yeah, it's real nice. It's a good family bonding time. I think it's the modern version of Legos, in my opinion. But but yeah, it's cool. It's nice to have everybody contribute. Everybody has different ideas and different things they like about the game, and I don't know. You can comment too. Like, this is part of your world as well.
Yeah, I've enjoyed getting to play on it. I remember like when we first booted it up, we were just looking at Minecraft for the first time after a while, and we loaded a random seed, and we're like, whoa, two snow villages right next to each other. We have to live here. And so we just turned it on in survival and started setting up shop.
I initially really was like, wow, I never played in a snowy plains biome village before. Let's do that. And, that was fun for a while. And then once you started trying to make it look nice, it really kind of went downhill because you had to have torches everywhere, and that melted all the snow. And it was just really, if you tried to make like a good looking village, you either had to remove all the snow, but then as soon as it would rain or snow, then it would just cover up things. And so it took a while for me to figure out how to make the town look nice and feel like lived in, and something that was I was proud of, and like actually getting into. And actually the first video on this channel, I think, is a quick tour of the tower and the village, and I still think it looks really bad there now, but it looks so much better there. And I commented in the video that it's like, oh yeah, I'm starting to feel it.
I feel like one of my biggest contributions to the server besides Llama Town was honestly going through and placing snow blocks everywhere. That way we could
Snow layers.
There were no snow blocks specifically on all of the edges. So that way, it didn't have that weird, snow and then dirt and snow.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That really cleaned up the look, a ton.
Yeah. And you also placed a lot of snow layers, because we ran around and added 2 or more snow layers everywhere, so to prevent mobs from spawning. Before we had a mob switch, and before we had, 7 and below mobs would spawn.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so lots of change in the last couple of years with that stuff. You can get away with a lot more, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. This question comes from Very Cool, I Promise. My favorite grayskin Minecraft YouTuber that I personally know. And also, what is your favorite milkshake flavor?
Easy question. It's vanilla malt. That's my favorite. Totally open to experimentation with other things. But when I need a shake, that is my go-to.
What was your thought/experience when you first saw that your missing color theory video exploded? And then also, I guess this one also is coupled with it. That was also from Dirk Rosenthal. This one's from Joe Lennell. I did come here from King B-Dogs, but then I saw your channel is a rock pun, and you do Minecraft geology videos, and that's what made me subscribe.
Mm-hmm. For one, I almost didn't do the missing color video. I just thought I was interested in it, and I was like, I'll make it. I'll put it out there. I uploaded it on the wrong day. I had it done earlier in the week, and I uploaded it, and I just set it to release. And I set it to release on Sunday instead of Saturday. Saturday came and went, and I was like, oh, well, nobody commented on that video. I guess, whatever. I didn't expect it to do very well anyway. And then Sunday morning, it actually got released, and then I got some comments, and I was like, oh, I just made a mistake. Great. Some people saw it. Good job. And then I had been doing a lot of stuff at work the previous month. It's been pretty hectic. And so I took some days off to do some stuff off at home. And that was Monday and Tuesday, I think. But I got up Tuesday morning, and I looked at my phone to see what emails I had from work the previous day. And my inbox was just all YouTube. It was just comments, notification after notification after notification. And I walked downstairs and looked at my computer, and the missing color video was just taken off. Tons of comments, and lots of subscribers started there. I think I only had 200 subscribers by then, and I had 300 at that point. And I was like, holy crap, what's going on? And luckily somebody in the comments mentioned King B-Dogs, and I looked through his Twitter and saw that he tweeted about my video, and just him tweeting about it is what caused the video to take off. I spent probably the whole half of the day just reading and answering comments and things like that. I was, just really, obviously very thrilled by it. Just really unexpected. So it was great.
I remember like messaging, me and my friends all have a group chat. I remember messaging it and being like, hey, a Minecraft dev tweet about my dad's video. And then like the next day I'm like, yeah, my dad has over 1K subscribers. And like the next day I was like, yeah, my dad has over 3K subscribers. And it has not stopped. All my friends are your biggest fans, probably.
Yeah. I'm very popular with your friends.
I'm popular with the kids.
Popular with the kids. I know what's going on.
What's fly, what's fleek.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty happening. Yeah, it was really crazy. It's very flattering to have something that, a game like Minecraft that I'm pretty passionate about, and just talking about the things that I like to talk about and doing the things I like to do and finding other people that appreciate that and like those things too. So it's really cool. It's a really cool, it's a win for the internet, I guess. One of the things it does it's all right at. But.
This one is from CEO of Cactus. What an esteemed person to have. It says, it would be cool to have a Discord or an SMP for the community. And then similarly, Manrock1 said, it has been neat how fast you popped up now. Maybe a Discord or something. Maybe a Discord server or something for 10K. Easier to talk than in YouTube comments, at least.
Yeah, it's if subscribers want that, it's something I'm willing to think about more. The only reason I'm reluctant to do that is just my time and things like that. And that's where I need to have mods or something like that actually monitor chat and things. I ran a guild for an MMO for years, and it was a very well-mannered MMO guild, and there's still drama that comes up, and I just don't want to deal with a lot of that stuff anymore. But I do really like community engagement. I don't really think I have a community. I guess 10,000 people is a significant amount of people. But I'm just saying,
it's nothing to shake a stick at.
Yeah, I like to get other people's views on things, and so that's where maybe that's good, so I can bounce ideas off people, because a lot of the stuff that I'm doing is kind of just in an echo chamber, or I'm just talking to my daughter and wife about things like that. But yeah, it's something that if people want, let me know, and I will seriously consider it. And that's something that will probably be more likely if the channel continues to grow or something like that too.
So all of you subscribe, and we might get, if we get to 100K subs by tonight, we'll start a Discord server.
Yeah, sure. Don't listen to my daughter.
Oh, cook my fish.
Perfect.
This is a good day. So, while our fish cooks, how about I go ahead and answer this question? This one is from Manny Minecraft. What is the best way, in your opinion, to experiment or find experiments in cool stuff like you do in Minecraft? I have some of that?
Yeah, here you go.
Thank you.
I don't know if I have a good answer for that. I am generally a very inquisitive person, and I am always asking questions and thinking about ways of exploring things that interest me. I'm always thinking about creating things, or how things work, or how to understand something. And in Minecraft, there's a lot of things to figure out and understand. That was kind of one of the things that drew me in initially was, your exploration and, all these cool mechanics and stuff like that. And the interesting things, I think that you're referring to in the question are things like looking at Minecraft through a lens of geology, or exploring color those are just things that I'm interested in real life, and I like to play around with those things. I've played around with color and light in outside of the game, and obviously I've pursued a career as a geologist. So I think that just trying to blend the things that you are interested in outside of the game, or just things that you're interested in the game, and just keep going down like your rabbit holes of things that you find interesting. Hopefully that's some sort of an answer for you.
I like it. That's my strategy when it comes to like most things in life.
Yeah, I think that I kind of gave up trying to figure out what I wanted to do in life a long time ago, and that was something that kind of really frustrated me, or I spent a lot of time and effort in when I was younger, was worrying about what the end goal, what I wanted to do. And basically when I gave up, I'm fortunate enough that I'm able to make a living doing the things that I enjoy doing. And so I guess I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I'm okay with that. This is a strange jungle temple that spawned here, because we're right on the border of the old to the new world generation right here.
This question comes from E.T. the Guy. What's your favorite video game of all time?
That's a tough question. I am a pretty avid video gamer. So I'm not going to say Minecraft. I almost don't think of it as a game anymore. It's more of like some platform. I think the game of Minecraft, if I had to think of that, would be like early survival part and going to defeat the end dragon. And that isn't really a particularly fun part of the game for me. I like to get that out of the way, and then I can get to the interesting parts of building and redstone and all of that stuff in the survival. As Minecraft the game, I probably have more time in Minecraft than any other game that I've played. Maybe a few other ones that might rival that. But if I had to pick my favorite game of all time, I think it would be Outer Wilds. If you haven't played it, it came out several years ago.
So good.
It's an incredibly good game. It's a game with a time loop, which I'm not usually a big fan of, because I don't like feeling pressured to try to get things done under a certain time limit. But it really didn't bother me with this game at all. And it is a game about exploration, and you don't gain any abilities or powers. You only gain knowledge, and that knowledge allows you to find other things out in the game. And
it's so beautiful too.
Yeah, it's a really beautifully done game, and I wish I could forget everything about it so I could play through it again. And I look forward to playing through it every so many years, maybe after I've forgotten enough of it that I could go back and do it. I also like Return of the Obra Dinn. It's a very fun game. Let's see, other games that are up there for me.
Play a lot of Souls games.
Yeah, I play a lot of Souls games, a lot of From Software stuff. I'm a big fan of their work. I've played through Dark Souls probably, I don't know, completed it probably like 5 or 6 times, and started it and done other things. And that's kind of it doesn't sound like it, but that's a relaxing game. Those games are kind of relaxing for me to go through. And another top contender for my favorite game of all time would probably be the original Final Fantasy VII, just because it was one of my first. I wasn't allowed to have console games as a kid. We ended up getting a computer for business reasons, and I had some games on there. I played like old Wing Commander and King's Quest and stuff like that. But I had a friend that had a PlayStation and let me play Final Fantasy VII, and then basically as soon as when I was in the Navy, I saved the money, bought a PlayStation, bought Final Fantasy VII, and played through it. And that was like my first real console game that I got into and just devoured. I'm here. I'm right behind you. Yeah, we can sleep.
No, zombie horde! Father, oh god! It's a zombie horde! Get so many zombies!
I don't see him, man.
They're right here! What do you mean you don't see them?
I'm fighting a zombie right now.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I tabbed out. Dead, I tabbed out. I tabbed out. Dead, I tabbed out. I tabbed out. Dead, I'm gonna die. I tabbed out. Grab my stuff.
I'm killing all these zombies.
I'm at the war village! Oh, I have to swim home!
One of the zombies has your sword.
I know! Kill them! Okay, well, I'm gonna sleep.
Thank you. That'll help burn them.
Yeah, that'll help burn them.
As long as a creeper doesn't show up behind me, I'm okay. One's just carrying like a sign towards me. Like, I don't know what it says.
He's a protester!
Oh god, one has a netherite. Netherite.
Oh, dolphin! Thank you! Yes, let me swim home. Father, I've got a dolphin letting me swim home.
Okay, we're fine. We're fine.
It's from Tyler Hudson, who says, the way you say CH words bothers me. And then Baseplate also said those CHs are killing me. But the main reason I'm including this is because of the useful reply. Matthew Reese. Yeah, it sounds like they have a lateral lisp. They could probably get it fixed with speech therapy, though, if they wanted to. But tons of people, you know, complained or commented on the way that you pronounce CHs and Js, which is interesting because I also pronounce them a very similar way. And no one's ever commented on this for either of us. And so, as someone who's wanting to study linguistics, it was great to have someone actually know the term for us. That way we would know what it was, instead of people just being like, the CHs are weird.
Yeah, it's a bit strange because people in my family or around me haven't commented on it or said anything. But it's something that I was in speech therapy when I was early grade school, like kindergarten, time frame, second grade, I think specifically. Mm-hmm. And, I had my teeth were messed up and I had to have braces for years and everything like that. But they, never really did anything for me. I'm kind of a bit bitter about it in grade school because I filled the quota so they could get state funding for the remedial class that I was in, but they actually didn't solve anything for me. They just kept me in it. And yeah, I can go into other issues I have with the American education system sometime. But yeah, with Matthew Reese making that comment and actually giving a name to it, then I looked it up and found a video that basically described the issue, and I understood it within, 2 minutes. So now it's something that I can choose to deal with or not. So it's cool. Most of the comments have been very nice, and I understand if it bothers you.
I do partially blame, because both of us have had braces. I do partially blame braces on it, because braces change the way that your mouth, one, is shaped, but two, forms around your teeth, and thus the way that you say words and things.
Yeah, and for those of you that are curious, basically I developed a way of pronouncing the S sound differently from what you should, and that has stuck with me for certain sounds. And yeah, so that's where
want me to explain it further?
No, a lateral lisp is the term for it. But if you want to look it up, it's just because you're producing the air blowing out the side instead of down the middle through your mouth.
Next question is from Skanda Tiwari. My guy casually mentions that he played in sinkholes and caves as a kid.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time playing in the woods. I live in a pretty rural area part of Illinois. It's it was 5 miles to town, and like another about a half-hour drive to a place that had like a grocery store and stuff. So yeah, I spent a lot of time out in the woods, just playing in the dirt, finding holes and rocks and stuff like that. My dad owned a small sheet metal shop also, and so I learned to weld and do a lot of metal fabrication at a young age, like 5 or so. And so my dad always also took me to like industrial sites a lot as a child, some iron foundries and some glass foundries and lots of industrial places I got to visit as a way too young child that probably should not have been.
I've got a question here from Bummiest. It says, I thought your skin had an MF Doom mask, but now I realize it's a guy with pale skin and a beard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my face is I took a gassed head, like from a mob head pack, and I put a beard and a mustache and some hair on it, and that is my character. And then I had a lumberjack character that I desaturated all the skin and all the clothes and everything. So no, it does look a bit like MF Doom, like Doctor Doom. Also, he has that same kind of mask. But yeah, just a gassed parading as a lumberjack. All right.
So the last comments that I wanted to highlight here is just 3 comments that were left in actually 2 separate videos, but I love them very dearly. One is from Ito, which says, "Babe, wake up, new nice video." One is from Sky Heaven, which says, "Dear, wake up, new Geology of Minecraft episode dropped." And the last one is from Aspen, 1117. "Honey, wake up, new nice name video just dropped."
Yeah.
I love that format of comment.
Yeah. It's a good meme.
It's a great bit and a really good goof.
Mm-hmm.
That was for Griffin McElroy Stan 69.
Yeah, he'll get it. And with that concludes the tour and the Q&A. If we missed a question, I'm sorry. I try and at least read all the comments, but that's just getting harder and harder as the channel grows. You can leave another comment and I'll try to answer it there, or maybe I'll cover it in another episode. I'm recording this after most of the editing is done, and I realized that I never actually finished my thought while talking about my pauses in part 1. The point was that if I use a script, it's difficult for me to read while playing, or if I do voiceover on a pre-recorded video, I sound even more emotionless than normal, and I prefer to have a more casual sound while speaking. So reading with a natural sounding emotion is what I can work on for some of these videos, and I just never got to that point when I brought it up earlier. And with that, this video is done. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.